everybody? Welcome to Dubstock Live, brought to you by FitAid. Still catching our breath after that heart-pounding finish that tied the series, a 1-point win for the Warriors. It's 2-2 now. Morgan Reagan, Dalton Johnson, Kerith, Burke with you here. In my mind, I'm replaying that Harrison Barnes shot. The former Warrior, the guy who loves to play against this old team. The Kings fans, the Kings teammates rather, saying, we like that shot for HB. Give it to him 10 out of 10 times. Morgan, what did you think about the Kings having an opportunity to win this game and when HB let that shot fly?
Can I first say, how fun is this? How fun is this, you guys? If you love basketball, this is just so fun to watch right now. Obviously, if you're a Kings fan watching Dubs talk right now, then you know it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And to see that shot from Harrison Barnes, I know we were kind of talking before about, you know, do you really want HB to take that three and everything? But truly, if that's the best shot you can get right there, especially when the Warriors did a fantastic job of slowing down and stopping De'Aaron Fox, you're gonna want to take a look at those open threes. But man, these open threes, not too cute in this series for the Kings, huh?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, the Kings did have their three-point shot going a lot better in this game. Both teams finishing with 14, so the Kings have things to feel encouraged by. But man, yeah, you definitely wanted Fox taking that shot. Mr. Clutch didn't go to his hands. HB it was.
Yeah, I thought it was great defense from Steph Curry right there. So much activity, and then you have Draymond playing almost that center fielder role where he can use his length on with both arms right there. So again, great activity by Steph Curry. You know, the Warriors said that they'll live with that shot any day as well because De'Aaron Fox again was another superstar performance tonight. Clutch player of the year for a reason, and they would rather have pretty much anybody else taking that shot besides De'Aaron Fox right now.
Yeah, I keep saying it, a 2-2 series, so now a best of 3. It's going back to Sacramento. These wins have followed home court lines, and because we have a Kings analyst here, I'll ask you the question. The Kings do have their three-point shot going now. They do have Keegan Murray going now. So when teams are looking for any little edge in a series that's had really small margins, how are the Kings feeling right now going back home?
I'm sure they're feeling encouraged, right? You know, like seeing some of those drop, obviously Keegan Murray, the rookie, being able to see his shot start to fall is really nice. But look at Kevin Huerter still, a guy that was shooting efficiently from three all throughout the regular season. Those are not falling right now. Mike Brown did a great job of saying, nope, we don't need that offense then. We need Davion Mitchell to tire out Steph Curry. Let's keep going in that direction in that second half. So he made that adjustment pretty quick in that second half because obviously Kevin Huerter's shot is still struggling, but I'm sure that they're feeling good, you guys. I mean, you saw this game out here. Both teams just fantastic effort. There's just a few things that happened there down the stretch that I'm sure the Kings just wish they didn't have a few of those turnovers. They made some late shots. That third quarter was really tough too for the Kings.
There you go. All right. I'm thinking, is this going 7, guys? This is a fun series. Could we handle 7? Could our stomachs and our ulcers handle 7? Right? I know.
All Northern California's hearts?
I don't know. One of the things the Warriors are doing well in this game is keeping Domantas Sabonis underneath his averages. We know he's such an important part of the offense, the fulcrum of the offense. Looney has played a big role in keeping Sabonis more quiet than usual. Let's hear from Looney.
Yvonne, what kind of message does it send when Draymond Green goes to Steve Kerr and says that, or suggests that he should come off the bench?
I think it just shows our camaraderie. It shows his level of trust in us, and it shows how selfless he is and how our team is. You know, we had multiple guys, change out of lineup. I come off the bench sometimes. Jordan, Wiz came off the bench and started the series. He done came off the bench. Steph came off the bench last year, so just showing that everybody's willing to do whatever it takes to win.
Hey, Kevon. You guys gave up that 10-point lead to start the fourth quarter. When the Kings took the lead, Steph came out and scored 7 of the next 8 points. Can you sense when he's kind of starting to see the game get away from you and kind of starts to take more of a role offensively?
I mean, I feel like he's always in control. He knows when to pick his spots. He knows when to get everybody else going. He has the ultimate command of our team and of the floor. So he know we were struggling and they was getting the momentum, and he decided to go get some buckets and get us back where we need to be at. That's why he is who he is.
Come on, this was a back-and-forth game, a back-and-forth series. I wonder just how much fun are you having in this series?
It's a lot of fun. This is what you dream about. Back in forth series with another team. Everybody's bringing their best, their A game. The adjustments from game to game. the physicality, the shot making, and it's just it's great to be a part of and great to watch when you're on the bench. So, series ain't over. Hopefully it goes in our way, but it's been a lot of fun.
Here, hi, how are you? The crowd was electric tonight. How do you carry that away into the next game?
That's something we've been having to figure out the whole year, how to win on the road. I think we got the formula to win. We just got to go out there on the road and execute it. Usually the home team always plays better. Guys make more shots, but we got to be ready for that. We got to match their intensity, match their physicality, and execute our game plan. We've been close a couple games there already. We just got to execute more to get over the hump.
Is any part of you surprised how good Wiggins has looked as quickly as he has, considering how much time he's here?
No. Wiggins is a super athlete, superhuman type of dude. He's the type of guy who don't really miss games. Guy who can just roll out of bed and probably do a East Bay or a 360 windmill. So it didn't shock me that he really take care of his body. He watches what he eat. He does all the small things. So it didn't surprise me when he came back that he was already in tip-top shape and he's able to step right in and play high-level playoff basketball.
All right, 1-point win for the Warriors. Knotted series now. We're looking for ways that the Warriors can win this series with the margins being so small. There is something that I noticed on the box score, Dalton, that the Kings had 12 more field goal attempts. They're really trying to impose their pace, their will. How did the Warriors counteract that?
Well, in the first half, the Kings had 13 more shots than the Warriors. So in that second half, the Warriors were the ones finally kind of imposing their will as well, taking one more shot than them. The first half, it was all about offensive rebounds, second chance points. The first half, the Warriors had one offensive rebound. Then we get into that third quarter. Draymond Green starts the second half, as we'll talk about in a little bit here. But that third quarter where they have the 14-point advantage kind of explode, sure, the offense was great putting up those big numbers, but it all starts with your second chance opportunities, your offensive rebounds, your hustle stats, and the fact that they finally won the battle in the third quarter there and then held on for the most part in the fourth quarter, to me is what makes the difference in this game and going forward as well, because both teams have star power. Both teams have great offenses. You need to be able to win the hustle stats to win a 7-game series like this.
Yeah, my favorite series right now in the NBA, of course. I know we're close to it. And also, guys, the podium game is strong. Let's hear it from Klay Thompson.
Klay, what was that last minute like? You have a pretty decent lead, and then the timeout and all the extra stuff that happened there. What were you thinking as it's all kind of happening?
It was stressful at times, but you go back to the bench when we're up one. I mean, Steph got a great look. We'll take that any day of the week. You realize we're up one, 10 seconds left, chance to win the game. That's all you can really ask for at that point in the game, so we didn't stress. And I'm really proud of Draymond and Steph's defense at the top of the key. I mean, HB got a great look, but that's not an easy shot, so I'm just happy that, those two guys made a great play.
First question, I got two questions. The first one is, what was the feeling like for you when HB's shot came off?
Oh, man. I was nervous. I'm really happy Harrison missed it. Still my guy, but I was hoping he missed it really badly. And sometimes you need a break like that at this point in the year, and it was just a gutsy win and a big defensive stop.
Other question is, you guys in the third quarter in particular came out with like a different energy on defense and rebounding. That seemed like it picked up. Was there anything said or done in addition to Draymond guarding De'Aaron?
I think so. I think Draymond being so switchable just throws a different look at Fox. And not only is he switchable, but he's so great around the rim. He's so great at getting the rebound and pushing the break. And I love that he took 14 shot attempts tonight. Those layups around the rim are going to go in on Wednesday, and when he's aggressive like that, he just adds a whole new layer to our attack.
Klay, what does it say about, or what message does it send that Draymond Green would suggest that he come off the bench after starting every single playoff game since Steve's been head coach?
Oh, wow. He's a selfless player. Draymond's a winner, and he realized that last game we got great flow offensively with the 4-guard lineup, and to stagger him and Loon's minutes, I think benefited us a lot because they play very similarly as far as running the offense, with handoffs and screens, and just a big-time adjustment by the coaching staff and complete unselfishness by Draymond that allows us to, try and reach our goal. That's why he's the champion he is.
Following up on Maddie's question, how rare is it to have stars of that caliber suggest it be okay with it? Because this isn't the first time that this team has seen a major adjustment bringing a all-star starter off of the bench in the playoffs.
Yeah, just shows you that we're all about winning. I mean, starting is a huge accomplishment in itself in the playoffs, but Steph did it last year and Draymond did it this year, so hopefully we'll have the same result as last year. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice.
Klay, obviously you played well in the playoffs last year, but how differently do you feel right now as opposed to this time last year, particularly on the defensive end?
I feel great. Confidence is very high. When you've been through it so many times, you just never let the moment get too big for you. And I thought I slid my feet very nicely tonight. I thought I had some great resistance on the defensive end, not letting guys get easy buckets. And then on top of that, I'm just a very prideful player. I don't really enjoy being scored on, so I always take pride in my one-on-one defense. That's for sure.
Klay, what's the mentality you need to have in a Game 5, a swing game, knowing that Game 6, one of the teams had the chance to win this series?
Well, as good as this feels right now, it's got to be quickly forgotten about once the day's over. Now it's a best of 3. I mean, we know how great this team is on their home court. We know they feed off their crowd, so it's on us to tighten up the turnovers and play the similar defense that we did tonight and do the little things, and I think we can come out with the victory on Wednesday.
Klay, I think you played.
All right, do the little things, come out with a victory on Wednesday. That's what the Warriors have to do. They have to think about continuing to build momentum. It would be their 3rd straight win if they could keep it going. But again, all of these wins have fallen along home court lines. We know Sacramento is pretty tough. All right, as far as Klay, Kerr had a compliment for him. This felt like a vintage two-way Klay game, and you noticed something about his plus-minus.
Yeah, I don't think plus-minus is always like the be-all, tell-all by any means, but he was a game high for the Warriors, plus 22 in plus-minus, and it's the fact that it was a 4-quarter plus-minus kind of game for Klay Thompson. He was at plus 11 in the first half, plus 11 in the second half. Okay. 12 first-half points, 14 second-half points. I thought that he used his body very well. He's happy to go chest to chest with a Sabonis. He's playing well against a Kevin Huerter, etc. So he's using his body in new ways that we're not used to seeing Klay in the past. But the shots were efficient. They were pretty much good shots. One really tough turnover, but overall a 4-quarter game from Klay Thompson.
All right, we told you that podium game was strong. When we come back on Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by FitAid, Steph Curry, his thoughts after this game, and of course, we need to talk about Draymond Green coming off the bench in this game. Is that something that could continue going forward? We will discuss when we come back.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by FitAid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. FitAid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Hey everybody, we're back on YouTube. We've got some predictions in here. People are saying Warriors in 6. We've got a Warriors in 7. We've got a compliment for you, Dalton. Dressed to impress with the fire emoji, my guy.
Yeah, a little Masters Sunday greens. I figured Steph would say Masters. Klay might say Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Either way, it works. Come on now.
That's right.
It's a good little Sunday green.
People love Airplane Klay in here. I think it's, so it's Pilot Klay. We've got Captain Klay. I mean, how many Klays?
There is numerous Klays. Most are full of fun.
Yes,
simple as that.
Many personalities. Hey, could you let us know in the comments what you guys think about Draymond coming off the bench and your predictions for whether he might do that in the next game? I'm a little curious. We'll do like an impromptu poll, I suppose, for our regulars in here. We've got somebody watching from the Philippines, somebody watching from Germany. Thank you all for tuning in. Val said, I woke up and almost got a heart attack. This game So at the end of the game, it's really nice. The Warriors let me go on the court. I do a post-game interview. And as the clock is ticking, you're thinking, do I need questions for a loss? Do I need questions for a win? It's like, and then, I'm a fan of basketball. I'm watching as a fan, too.
Yes.
And then I have to switch my brain over. This game, I paused. I was looking at the Jumbotron because there's too many people standing in front of me. And I'm watching that final shot, and I'm like, oh, it didn't go in. It didn't go in. And I stand there dumbfounded for a second. And then the rush comes behind me of everybody trying to go on the court. And then I think, oh, okay, reporter time. Whew. But that's how caught up I got in the end of this game.
For sure, as Draymond Green would say, absolutely incredible. That's what this game was. What a fun rush for all of us tonight. Today. Simple as that.
What time is it?
I don't know.
Hey everybody, we're back on Dubstock Live, brought to you by FitAid. Dalton and Kerith with you. One of the main storylines coming out of this game is after Draymond Green returned from his suspension, he came off the bench in this game. And Steve Kerr described it as a collaboration where Draymond said, Coach, I've been having some thoughts that this could work. Steve said he had been having the same thoughts, so they hashed it out and said, yeah, this might be the right call. Draymond hasn't come off the bench in a playoff game since 2014. What do you think that says about his willingness to do what it takes to get a win?
Everything. I mean, how many people said tonight that winning is everything? Whether it's Draymond Green, Looney, we just heard Klay Thompson said the same thing, right? So Steph Curry's come off the bench. Andrew Wiggins has come off the bench in the playoffs. Draymond Green now has come off the bench in the playoffs. All these guys know one thing, and it's winning championships. When he came on the court, it was all energy. It was a reminder to the Kings, also getting a technical foul within the first minute that, hey, I'm still here, I'm still me. But I love the fact that he said that he studies basketball when he watches this game from a mile away, obviously at his home. But he saw how well the Warriors did, and he gave up that unselfishness to say, we're winning. That's what matters. That's what matters to the Warriors as a whole. That's the culture that they built. So I love it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, all right. Well, and Steve Kerr, actually, somebody asked him, can you explain why you guys arrived at this decision? And Steve gave a pretty good answer about what happens for the Dubs when they only play one big at a time. Take a listen.
His defense was great. He hadn't come off the bench in 10 years since before I was coaching. But he came to me immediately after game 3. He drove back to the arena. I was in my office, and he walked in, and he said, what do you think about me coming off the bench? And I had been thinking about it already because of the way Sacramento was guarding us, and just getting another shooter on the floor. And so we always collaborate. The decisions we make are collaborative with our key players, and so that was a collaboration. But Draymond offered it, and this is how we've approached a lot of playoff games. Steph has come off the bench. I think 4 games against Denver last year. Wiggs came off the bench game 1. You do whatever you have to do, and I thought Draymond had a great second half, really got himself going. Defensively, he was fantastic, and only had 1 turnover. Again, huge key for us, taking care of the ball, and we did that. And we eventually got back to that 2 big lineup with Draymond and Loon, and they did a great job together.
All right, so one of the things that Steve was explaining, and that's an insight into the collaboration there, but when you play one big at a time, it means there's always a big on the floor. Remember, because some of the criticism of when you play Looney and Draymond beside each other, it's quote-unquote 2 non-shooters on the floor. With only one big, you've got this 4-guard lineup, you have spacing, you have your passing lanes open, you have your driving lanes open, and it works for the Warriors, which leads to the question, if it's working, do you change it?
Well, I mean, Draymond Green said it best as far as he's someone where if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So to me, very interesting going forward. I think now that they're in this best 2 out of 3 series, I'd be surprised if Draymond Green doesn't start next game. But again, the willingness to come off the bench is great to see. And the numbers with that starting 5 worked very well. Yeah. So did the numbers with the usual starting 5, which was the best starting 5 in basketball this season. So you have to feel super confident to see that the switch-up worked and in the first half, and it worked in the second half as well. The numbers showed us, the energy showed us. So again, I think Steve Kerr has to feel very happy about either decision that he has to make going forward.
Yeah, and you know what? I talked to Draymond post-game, and I asked, is this going to continue? And he's like, it's not my decision. Okay, so someone asked Steve, do you carry this forward? He's not going to give us an answer to that. It pays for the Warriors to be coy about this, so the Kings cannot predict what's going to happen in that Game 5. So we just don't know at the moment if Draymond will continue to come off the bench. All right, Steph just sat down at the podium. Let's take a listen.
Steph, can you just walk us through what happened there? I think 40 seconds left when you tried to call timeout. Didn't have a timeout to call.
I knew we challenged, but I didn't realize when we lost the challenge that we didn't have any timeouts left. I know Coach mentioned he took the blame for it. I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was the smartest play in the world. When I got the ball, turned around, saw a trap, realized there was no real outlets. Instead of turning it over, it's kind of the heady play, but it turned out not to be. I looked over at the bench and everybody was shaking their head. So it was an unfortunate situation in that respect, but good learning lesson. Thankfully, we came away with the win, but good learning lesson on how important all those details are. We know it, but knowing timeouts, knowing the situation, it was just an unfortunate sequence right there.
What did you think about the two, I guess, decisions that involved Draymond today? Him coming off the bench and then in the second half starting him on Fox.
I mean, we talk about it a lot around here, around doing whatever it takes to win and everybody being able to be flexible on what their role is, what they're asked to do from the top all the way to the bottom. You know, it's well documented. Most of us have been in situations where that's become a decision. Last year in the playoffs with me, Wiggs coming back at the beginning of this year's playoffs, Draymond, you know, from Game 2 to Game 4. So it's just being ready to play no matter what the situation calls for, the versatility of our team, and the fact that we know each other so well that he doesn't start in the first half, starts the second half, you know, matchup change, and we kind of pick up right where we left off. So it's just a credit to him, obviously accepting the role. It's a credit to just our 1 through 15 being able to, you know, keep the identity of how we play no matter who's starting or who's, you know, out there.
Over here, Steph, the last possession when you guys were on offense is about a 4-second differential. You took the shot, I think, with about 12 left. Can you take us through that possession, please?
It's always a balance of, you know, playing the clock and trying to find the best shot, because obviously if I make the floater, we're up 3 with 10 seconds left, and you like that kind of position to have one more stop. Obviously, I missed. There's a little fight for the rebound. They call timeout with 10 seconds left, so you know, I live with that decision, though, and D. Fox kind of went for a phantom steal. I had the whole lane kind of wide open, made a decision. I live with it. Wish I would have made it, obviously, but we were able to get one last stop. So that's the nature of the playoffs, where I analyzed that possession, figure out what I could do different. Had they made the shot, it'd be a different context, but, you know, we played to the buzzer.
All right, bucket hat Steph, the master at work, as you wrote about, again, leading the team in scoring. Also played 43 minutes in this game, Dalton. What do you think about that?
I don't want to say good, but also good. You do what it takes to win,
Yeah.
right? I don't think playing Steph Curry, obviously, 43 minutes is a great thing for him, but 43 minutes from Steph Curry, 39 minutes from Klay Thompson, they knew they had to win this game. Even the series up, you don't want to go in a 3-1 hole going back to Sacramento. Simple as that. I believe Steph had 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
We saw what he did at the end there against De'Aaron Fox. So not great, but again, you do what you have to do to win the game. And that's what Steve Kerr did. That's what Steph Curry did.
Yeah, Steve said he doesn't want the minutes to be so high, but he's with you. You have to get the W. And the fact that there's been 2 days in between games is helpful, although that starts to shrink now that it's a best of 3. All right, when we come back on Dubstock Live, brought to you by FitAid, a quick look at the schedule, or at least a mention of it. Also want to talk a little bit about shot selection and the Warriors balancing their offense. That's next.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by FitAid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. FitAid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Hey everybody, we've got a 2-2 baby comment. Good morning from Manila. Jonathan is wondering, wow, where were all those Kings fans that were crashing the comments earlier? They're a little quiet now. I love the playful talk between you guys. Hey, Warriors fans have to show up in Sacramento if you can. It is a tough ticket to get a hold of. But I don't want cowbells. I don't want cowbells in my ear. I want Warriors cheers in my ear, I think. What do you think?
No, I mean, those Kings fans, those first two games were great. I think the Warriors fans were even better this game than they were
I would agree with that
last game.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So, again, any kind of gold or blue that you can get into Golden One Center, Warriors are going to use that to their advantage. They need it. I mean, because it's going to be a great crowd in Sacramento. There's no debating that. There really isn't.
We got a hello from Victoria, BC. Somebody wants to mention, or somebody wants to make sure we mention Looney, which we have, like, we have to, like, every single
14
game.
rebounds.
But another, you know. But also, putting a body on Sabonis.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Frustrating
Big time.
Sabonis. Being
Big
physical with him and not backing down for him.
Alex Len has almost been more impactful for the Kings. Than
Which
Sabonis.
is wild, Alex Len.
Like he really has. Like again, they're daring Sabonis to take those outside shots. They're putting a body on him when he tries to put his head down. So it's been fascinating to watch the way that Draymond and Kevon Looney have teamed up to really slow down Sabonis.
All right, Arch Plus says, pressure's now on the Kings. Warriors have won 2 straight, going back to Sacramento. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to Dubs Talk Live. Something that I noticed at halftime in this game was Klay, Wiggins, Poole, and Curry each had 8 shots. And I'm thinking, I might like to see Curry have a little bit more, just to mention as the schedule is there on your screen. And then, Curry came through with a few more shots. But it looked like guys got a little bit more comfortable in that second half and got to be themselves.
Yeah, I think that the shot distribution was actually really well. Like you said, Steph finishes with 22, Klay 15, Poole 15, Wiggins 12 shot attempts, and then Draymond 14 shot attempts. Klay Thompson says he loves seeing him take it. 3 for 14, a lot of missed layups.
Yeah,
so
that's the problem.
That'll come down a little bit, but yes, when Steph had to take over, he took over. But there was a widespread of scoring today for the Warriors.
There you go, a W for the Warriors. The next W is Wednesday. That's Game 5 at Golden One. Thanks for tuning into Dubs Talk Live. A new podcast coming up momentarily. Hey there. Hey there. Oh, yeah, we've got a tag on YouTube. That's right. I'm just, truly, guys, I'm trying to explain how I'm still feeling like I'm catching my breath and organizing my thoughts. There's so much that was happening post-game. I really liked what Draymond said about it shouldn't be my expectation to be a starter. That was interesting because the expectation is a healthy Draymond is a starter. But when you have, say, Andre Iguodala coming off the bench, when you had last season Steph Curry coming off the bench in the playoffs, and you have in game 1 of this series Andrew Wiggins coming off the bench, there's a precedent here. And if Draymond grumbled about that, that would have sent the wrong message.
What does it show for a Jordan Poole, just like it did last year with Steph Curry doing the same thing, a Moses Moody, a Jonathan Kuminga, to show that these are superstars. These are champions that are willing to come off the bench, willing to play their part when it matters most. This is the Warriors season. They are a 16-win team. That's what matters to them most. And clearly, winning is what matters to them most right now. So again, I think that it's such a great domino effect from what Steph did, what Wiggins did, what Draymond did, right? Where he, as you said, it's not my expectation. He said, who am I to come in and be like, you guys played so well, the space was awesome. Hey, I'm back.
But I'm
Scoot
back.
over. Exactly. Like, hey.
Yeah.
I mean, he could do it. He
Yeah,
could do that.
he could.
And a lot of people would.
But what kind of ramifications did that have?
Big time
Coming off a
ramifications.
suspension where
Exactly.
you potentially hurt your team.
Big time ramifications.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that hurts a locker room.
Yeah.
It hurts culture.
Yeah.
It hurts all of that, right? So that's where I go back to when we first saw the news, you're kind of like, really?
Yeah, I was a little bit like, why?
And you weren't alone there.
But then, yeah, a healthy
Yes.
Draymond coming off the bench
Mhm.
is a surprise. But didn't feel like just an X's and O's thing, but also an emotional thing as
Yes, I think X's and O's, emotional wise, it worked out pretty much as good as it could have. If it didn't work out, now we have a lot of questions for Steve Kerr, Draymond Green.
Yeah.
But again, the process and the results seem to match each other very well.
well. All right, thanks, Dalton. Thank you guys for watching. Because we got to do this podcast, we will say goodbye. Take care.